our Zoom master hint. It's okay now? We can start?
I wish for anything to happen so I can get away.
I guess we need one few seconds and we can go.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hello, fellow Toastmasters around the world, dear friends from District 107, and honor guests. Welcome to our international meeting. Hi.
Hello.
Since 2020, the year of the pandemic, when all clubs adopted Zoom meeting, we had the first edition, which was wonderful and amazing. And since that, we try to organize every year this event because it is always delightful to connect members worldwide. And I think that we don't have that privilege in face-to-face meeting. So Zoom meeting, this is one of the advantages of online meetings. So I want to thank all friends who say yes to this meeting. In addition, it's an opportunity to learn, to hear speeches, constructive feedback, and eventually have fun. So before handing the floor to our Toastmaster of the day, I want to thank our regular guest who has been here and present in every joint meeting or international meeting, Masayo, Atsushi, Dais, Chaz. And I want to thank also members who say yes at the last minute, as Samir and Pablo, I believe just ago he said yes to the rule of the grammarian, and also to new members who join us and who say yes to this meeting. This meeting, it's happening now because of your participation, because of your dedication. I know today it's Saturday, it's a weekend, everyone prefers to stay with family, friends, kids, or maybe at the beach, because here in Morocco it's getting too hot. But thank you. And I just bring something, because this is the Moroccan way to welcome our guests is the Moroccan tea. So this is what we present to all guests. So make self as comfortable as you can. I believe that our Zoom master choose different kind of music. We're gonna enjoy, we're gonna listen, we're gonna enjoy. And the most important thing is to having a fun. So now, without any further delay, I will hand her the floor and I will give my cup of tea to the Toastmaster of the day, Rania Derwish. She's the president of Rabat Toastmasters, and she did great efforts to organize this third edition. So Rania, did you bring your tea?
Of course, Hanan. Thank you so much for the lovely tea. Thank you, everyone, for being here with us today. It's really our biggest pleasure. It's becoming a tradition in Rabat Toastmasters Club. And what a tradition that we are and we will always be proud of, to see Toastmasters from all over the world gathered today, celebrating the real Toastmaster spirits. Today's meeting has a theme, which is the power of words. They say words are the most powerful force given to humanity. Positive, supportive, and beautiful words can heal and push you forwards. Your words have been and has been the ability to change life. They can encourage people to achieve greatness. They can help and even heal someone's suffering. They can nurture, nourish, and inspire your children. It is vital to always speak your truth, dear Toasties, but always be mindful that your words can change everything. And I want to share with you my all-time favorite quote, which said, when given the choice between being right or kind, always choose kind, by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Dear Toastmasters friend, I'm so glad and happy today to launch this meeting. And also because we have participants from different countries and different districts from the world. With no further delay, I want to present, first of all, our G of the meeting to present her team. Please applaud with me our dear Christina. Big applause to Christina Huesas, our G of the meeting.
Thank you very much, Rania. I will present our magnificent evaluations team, starting by our accountant, Samir Chakri, the grammarian, Pablo Garcia from Spain. Well, Samir from Morocco, of course. And our timer, Hanan Boureyi from Morocco too. Back to you, Madam Toastmasters.
Thank you so much, our GE of the day, dear Christina. I'm so glad also to let you know that we have today as our grammarian, our new district director, dear Pablo. Please, congratulations to you, Pablo. And by the same occasion, I want to congratulate our evaluator, Anna, for being also the Division C director. And I'm so glad that we have also our evaluators with us. Our evaluators for today are from Australia, Louise Payton. Please applaud with me, Louise. We have also our dear Carol with us, our dear old friend, Carol. Please applaud her with me. Our third evaluator is our dear Anna Santos. Please applaud her. And our fourth evaluator is our dear Sabri Dolmez from Turkey Toastmasters Club, but he's currently now in London. Please applaud him. And I'm so glad also that today Table Topics will be organized by our dear friends from Japan, our dear friend Masayo Are. Please applaud her.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I bet you are preparing for us some very interesting table topics. And I want to remind all our dear guests and Toastmasters, whoever wants to participate in the table topics, please send a private message to our dear Masayo. And I guess we will go to the most important part.
Rania, we need, sorry for interrupting, but Pablo Garcia not share the word of the day as the grammarian.
Yes, indeed. Dear Pablo, please feel the pleasure to share with us the word of the day.
Thank you, Rania. Thank you, Hanan. What an honor to be here with this international crew today. And as a grammarian, you know that I'm going to be watching out on the English usage, although I'm not a native speaker. And also, as you mentioned, I have something for you all, which is the word of the day. It has two benefits. One of them is for the challenge that it is for the speakers, for everyone that comes to this virtual stage, is to use the word of the day so that they improvise somehow. This is a skill that we develop here in Toastmasters. But also, I have something for you all, which is every time you listen to the word of the day, I encourage you to use your reactions button with your thumbs up to demonstrate that you are actually active listening. That way we all earn something. And the word of the day today that I brought for you with this topic, which is the power of words, is that sometimes there are some words that actually leave us speechless, which means silent, astonished, thrilled, enlightened. So I would encourage all of you to use the word of the day, speechless, and all of the rest to put your thumbs up when you hear it.
Thank you so much, dear Pablo. And since, as Pablo said, you gotta pay attention to whatever you're gonna say, because Pablo will be noting everything. And it's not just Pablo that you're gonna be careful and paying attention to. You need to pay attention also to our dear friend Samir. Samir, Why should we pay attention to you again?
Because I will take note of every filler word or every filler sound or every hesitation that you may make during your speech or improvisation or evaluation speech. So I will give my final report at the end of the meeting, and I hope I will not have a long report.
Thank you so much, dear Samir. With me, I guess you're gonna have a long report as usual. And the most important person in the tag team to pay attention to, you know why, dear friends? Because if you don't do so, you're gonna be disqualified from the vote, because, well, in Rabat Toastmasters, it's also a tradition to always vote for the best evaluator, best speaker, and best improviser. But if our dear timer decided to disqualify you, well, you're out of the race. Dear timer Hanan, please, can you remind us of your rules?
Thank you very much, dear Toastmaster of the day. So, the Zoom Master Hint, can I share my screen?
Yes, sure, Hanan.
So, I hope that everybody see the screen. So yeah, so this is the time. So for speeches, we have like 5 minutes. That means green card, 6 minutes, yellow card, and 7 minutes is red card. So less than 4:30 or more than 7:30, you are disqualified. For improvisations, 1 minute to 2 minutes. So less than 1 minute and more than 2:30 seconds, you are disqualified. And for evaluation, it's 2 to 3 minutes, less than 2 minutes and more than 3:30, you are disqualified. So just please pay attention to the timer, and I will come back with my report later. So without any delay, come back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, dear Hanan. And now we're coming to our well-waited for part of this meeting. It is the prepared speeches. And I can have more pleasure that we have 4 speakers from different countries. Our first speaker is representing Spain. Our second speaker is representing Germany. Our third speaker is representing USA. And our fourth speaker is representing Japan. Dear friends, is there more diversity than this? We are really proud to having you today with us. And our first speaker, our dear Percy Roland, the well-known District 107 friend, Percy Ronald. He is a Toastmaster since 2006. He's actually a DTM. He is an addict to conference and contests. He won multiple contests, including District 59, Table Topics, and District 107. He was a finalist in the International Speech Contest. Outside of Toastmasters, he works in luxury real estate in Marbella. He hates online meetings, and he said that he didn't join one for all over a year. Thank you, Percy, for making this exception today with us. Percy is gonna present a speech titled "Everything Will Be Alright," and his project will be Evaluation and Feedback 1. I asked all my speakers 1 question regarding the theme of today, which is the power of words. I asked Percy, what was the word or phrase that you were told one day and that stuck up in your mind and you'll never forget it? He, as he always does, tried to do things differently. He made the whole speech to answer my questions. Please, dear friends, welcome with me, Percy. Percy Roland, everything will be all right. Everything will be all right, Percy Roland.
Sorry, just doing a quick sound check because I haven't done this in a while. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Good.
We do, Percy.
Shall I? Shall I? Shall I really? He was a cute little boy of maybe 5 years old. He was standing in the shallowest part of a big public swimming pool, the water barely reaching his chest. And he was wearing huge orange water wings. And he looked scared. 2 or 3 meters away, in a much deeper part of the pool, was an older man, his grandfather probably. He was smiling at him. He too had the water up to his chest, but in a much deeper part of the pool. He was smiling at the little boy, encouraging him. Of course, you can do it. Come on. The little boy was not convinced. He looked at the distance. He looked how deep the water was. Are you sure? Really? Of course. Come on, you can do it. Just let go. You will see. Everything will be all right. Now, all around them, a group of mainly older ladies had formed, watching this spectacle. Oh, how cute. He's teaching his grandson to swim. It made him even more nervous. He looked at this incredible distance. But the man was smiling at him, his arms wide open. Come on, you can do it. Just let go. You will see. Everything will be all right. Finally, he closed his eyes, took a deep breath, pushed himself away, and swam all the 2.5 meters into the man's open arms. Cheers and applause from the old ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow swimmers, you can probably imagine, even though it's hard to imagine now that I was once a cute little boy, that this was me. And the old man was, in fact, my father. Growing up with a much older parent is a strange experience not many people get to experience. He was 61 when I was born, and it is something quite different growing up with someone who really should be your grandfather. You see, they have all the time in the world for you, and you grow up listening to stories all day long. Words were his passion, and words were his power all his life. And he led the most incredible life, from surviving the war, mainly thanks to a book which he published aged 17, to becoming one of the biggest black marketeers in Germany, to becoming a businessman who led a James Bond life, traveling all over the world, importing fish powder to Russia and milk powder to India. I grew up with words and stories that shaped my imagination, that shaped my expectation of what life should be, for better, maybe for worse. Words were with me all my life growing up. It was a wonderful experience, but of course, there is a downside. I still remember the first time I realized that my father was, in fact, old. And it was not that time in the pool. I think I was 8 or 9 years old, and it was his 70th birthday. And the number 70 suddenly struck me as something ominous and dangerous. 70, so old. It made me realize we really lived on borrowed time. And every year at New Year's Eve, when we were toasting to the new year, we would always toast to being still together the next year. Of course, at some point, the inevitable happened. I think I was 14 or 15 years old when he had his first stroke. Now, it only lasted for about 10 or 15 minutes, and he fully recovered afterwards. But during those 10, 15 minutes, he was completely paralyzed on his right-hand side. But that was not the thing that traumatized him the most. You see, he also lost the ability to speak. And that was what made him terrified for the rest of his life. The thought of not being able to speak, of not having the power of words anymore. Slowly, his condition deteriorated over the years. It took 11 years. And on the last few years, he basically had lost the ability to speak altogether. He had lost the ability to know who we were, or know who he was, or where he was. It ended, like it usually does these days, in hospital, in an intensive care unit. He had been unconscious for several days, but still his heart would not stop beating. There on the machine it went, beep, beep, beep. We were waiting for hours, for days. What could we do? I still don't know what made me do it, but suddenly I got up. I walked up to his bed. I tried to hug him, and something we'd never really done before. He was not much of a hugger. He was of the generation that considered a handshake pretty intimate. I tried to hug him, but there were pipes and tubes sticking out everywhere. And I said something to him. It came from the depth of my subconscious. Just let go. You can do it. You will see. Everything will be all right. It took maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and the beats got slower and slower and slower until the machine stopped. My friends, words are more powerful than you and I could ever imagine. We all have this power for good and for evil. The most unspeakable things have been inspired by words, and the most noble sacrifices have also been inspired by words. Words are power. We all have this power. Don't waste it. You never know when you might lose it. So if there's something you want to say, say it. If there's something you want to say to someone, say it. If you want to tell someone you love them, tell them. If you want to tell someone you hate them, tell them too, because you never know. It might just be the beginning of coming together. Just let go. You will see. Everything will be all right.
Thank you, dear Percy, for this amazing speech. Very emotional, and as you said, with phrase like "let go, everything will be all right," might seem a regular phrase that we use, but sometimes it has the hugest impact on the human being. Thank you so much, dear Percy, and I'm gonna ask our dear guest to please send some comments to Percy on his speech. We will have just 1 minute for that. And meanwhile, we're gonna ask our dear Zoom master to play some music.
مازال ما نسيت الجلسات فاس خلع وزريع الكاس ولا عين الكحلة يا ناس يجرحوا الكبيد كل شي بالقاعدة مازال ما نسيت الجلسات فاس خلع وزريع الكاس ولا عين الكحلة يا ناس يجرحوا الكبيد كل شي بالقاعدة.
That's some really old traditional Moroccan music.
وحل كيف ننسى ديك الجلسة عقزة زين العبسة تقول صاري وسط المرصة مشينا نوري كل شي بالقاعدة زلنا نسيت الجلسة فاس إلى عصري الكاس ولا عين بحلا يا ناس يجرحوا الكبيد كل شي بالقاعدة.
1 minute, it's over.
Thank you, our dear Hanan. So now we're gonna move to our second speaker. Our second speaker, dear Stephanie Hobert from Isaac Speak Munich Toastmaster Club in Germany. She founded that club 3 years ago. She's actually the immediate past division director of Division D in District 95. In real life, she's a process designer and manager. She lived in Brazil, in Japan, And she gave a lot of seminar on earthquake preparedness and wrote articles in 3 Japanese newspapers for the expert community. And she considered that international communication is a very important thing to her. She's also a sailor and likes to compete in offshore races in international cruise. When I asked our dear Stephanie what was the word or phrase she heard someday and she could never forget about herself, she said somebody told her she was flamboyant, which means different from others, easy to notice, vibrant and energetic. Today, our dear Stephanie is gonna present for us a speech entitled The Family Tailor. Her project will be Connect with Storytelling. Dear Stephanie, the Family Tailor, Stephanie Roberts, the Family Tailor.
Thank you very much, Rania. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And I need to pin the timer, okay? Dear fellow Toastmasters, the power of word. What a great motto for a Toastmasters meeting. Words can lift us up and they can actually get us to do something that we thought we couldn't do before. And they could also be sheer venom and they could destroy us. They could destroy our self-confidence. And they could even do so if you do not even understand the words. And let me tell you how that can happen. Outside, the hot, dry air hit me like a wall. Besides the smells of kerosene, it carried the distinctive earthen smell of Africa. I had arrived in Egypt, and I was a woman on a mission. I had come to meet the family of my fiancé for the first time, and I was determined to make a good impression. And why should I not? I was young, I was successful, I was easy on the eye, and I was so incredibly nervous. I had hardly eaten, hardly slept, and I was quite aware they would measure me with different criteria than the one I was used to fulfill. They'd care if I was a good wife and good genetic material to ensure the sustainability of this well-known family. I had wanted to buy a special suit, jacket and trousers for the occasion, but Nabil, my fiancé, had other plans. Habibti, he said, why do you not wait until you're in Egypt? We have the finest fabric there, and we have an excellent family tailor who will make you a beautiful custom-made suit that will make you shine. Anyway, now that I was in Egypt, the family had given me a very warm welcome. And most days I spent many hours in the salon. You must know that the salon is a room equipped with armchairs, not comfortable, placed along the walls, and some small coffee tables to hold refreshments. The salon is for welcoming people who did not belong to the immediate family, and it was decorated to impress visitors. So I sat there together with my fiancé, his mother, his sister, her husband, 2 of his brothers and their wives, and met other aunties and uncles, nephews and nieces, and male and female cousins. I was eagerly waiting to meet the family tailor to make me his wonderful suit. The day arrived, the tailor Rifat arrived. He looked at me and immediately I sensed an air of disapproval. He obviously was not happy with either his task to measure me or with me. The measurement was evenly unpleasant for him as it was for me. And this was the first time this thought sneaked up on me. Was this a good idea altogether? Will somebody who obviously dislikes you, make you look good. A couple of days passed and Rifat came with his first draft of my couture. I went to a side room and changed. The result had put me back immediately on the carpet when I entered the salon full of my family members, new family members. The jacket fitted and covered me. It was not elegant. The trousers, however, they were quite a piece of art. One side looked absolutely normal, not elegant, but everything was where it was supposed to be. The left side, however, looked very different. It looked like it had been for a much bigger person. The leg was longer, and the crease that should actually be in the middle of the front of the leg was winding up like a vine. What followed were a few harsh sentences exchanged between my fiancé and Rifat. I tried to show that the difference on the left side made my backside look asymmetric. What can I say? After Rifat had left with the trousers in order to correct them, my husband told me, my husband-to-be husband told me that Rifat had claimed that European women are built differently from Egyptian women. Also, I had one shorter leg and one longer leg. The backside looked funny because it was uneven. And all of that in front of my assembled new family. Interesting, I thought. I need to get that checked when I'm back in Germany. 2 more visits from Rifat followed after he had tried to adjust a couple of things in order for the trousers to sit properly. Every time he claimed more challenges with my body. A winding spine made me sound like a cripple and unfit to enrich the gene pool of my new family. At the last, it might possibly be done in order to make these trousers fit. And I tried a couple of things and I pulled here and there. And suddenly, from all the despair and confusion, I stepped with a little clarity. I went to change back into my old jeans, took the pair of trousers, stood in front of my fiancé, pressed the trousers firmly into his hand and said, "Your family tailor has made me a pair of men's trousers. And he has decided for me to wear my crown jewels on my left side." What can I say? The family tailor stood there. He didn't know what I was talking about to my fiancé. My fiancé threw the trousers at the tailor and chased him off the premises. I don't think he was ever seen again. And the message of this, if somebody has a very strong opinion of you, you should ask for their qualification. I was willing to believe everything this tailor said and treated his comments like he was an orthopedic. I was ready to have regular checkups just to find out one of my legs would be 1.5 centimeters shorter or longer, like it is with 99.9% of humanity. And ladies and gentlemen, isn't it the main task of good leaders to strive and encourage and motivate rather than putting people down and make them incapable of doing things?
Thank you. Thank you so much, dear Stephanie, for this amazing speech. And indeed, sometimes, as we said at first, words are important. We need to know other people what they think, but we need to be sure that those people have the best intention regarding us. And as you said, really qualified to talk about some subject or another. Dear friends, please give our dear Stephanie, as we called in Rabat Toastmasters Club, some gifts, some comments on her speech. And we'll have 1 minute to do that.
My
Manchmal fühle ich mich hier falsch wie ein Segelschiff im All. Aber bist du mit mir an Bord, bin ich gerne durchgeknallt. Selbst der Stau auf der A2 ist mit dir blitzschnell vorbei. Und die Plörre von der Tanke schmeckt wie Kaffee auf Hawaii, yeah. Auch wenn ich schweig, du weißt Bescheid. Ich brauch gar nichts sagen, ein Blick reicht. Und wird uns der Alltag hier zu grau, pack ich dich ein, wir sind dann mal raus. Hallo Lieblingsmensch, ein Riesenkompliment dafür, dass du mich so gut kennst. Bei dir kann ich sein, verträumt und verrückt sein. Na, 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 na. Danke Lieblingsmensch, schön, dass wir uns kennen. Hallo Lieblingsmensch, ein Riesenkompliment dafür, dass du mich so gut kennst. Bei dir kann ich sein, verträumt und verrückt sein. Na, 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 na. Danke Lieblingsmensch, schön, dass wir uns kennen. Absolut niemand darf's erfahren, aber dir vertraue ich's an, weil du sicher auch.
The minute it's over.
Area 51.
Okay, dear timer, thank you so much. And now we're gonna move to our third prepared speech. And I'm so happy that today we have for the second time our dear friend Chaz Perez from USA. Chaz, well, he has a very interesting life. For 20 years and spanning 3 continents, Chaz Perez had created defining moments for audience through his messages and leadership. He has touched the life of students, orphans, addicts, TEDx audiences, and leaders of many different spheres of influence in the world. He's the founder and the president of Brilliant Children, non-profit organization. When I asked our dear Chaz about the one word or phrase, he said that somebody told him, "You have a nice smile." Dear Chaz, we approve that. And today's speech is about the project evaluation and feedback one, and the title of the speech is "The Words of a Father." Chaz Perez, the words of a father. The words of a father, Chaz Perez.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Very quick. Can everybody hear me good? What do you do when you feel broken? What do you do when they broke you? What do you do when you've broken yourself? It was one of the most terrifying moments of my entire childhood. I was about 8 or 9 years old, and my father bought a brand new computer. And as soon as he set it all up, he said, "Chaz, do not play by that computer." Later on, he went to work. And what did I do? I walked over to that computer on that chair, that fun spinning chair, and I began to spin as fast as I could, And unbeknownst to me, I drew closer and closer and closer to the desk until I actually slipped and hit the flimsy desk, and the computer came crashing down on the floor. Immediate panic swept over my whole body at what my dad was going to do to me. Hours passed, and I heard that big, heavy truck sound of his truck pulling up to the driveway. Vroom, vroom. Then I heard that chain link fence while he opened it. Vroom, vroom. As he pulled in the back of the house. Then I heard those footsteps and the shuffling of the doorknob of the back door. And those heavy footsteps walking to the living room where I'm sitting on an old ugly brown couch shaking. My hands are palmy and sweaty and hot. And I'm looking down and I hear those footsteps walk straight into the computer room as though he knows. And I'm on the old ugly brown couch and I hear those final footsteps walk out to me. And I'm looking down at my feet and looking down at his feet, almost touching mine. And I'm wincing my face like this, waiting to get it. Now, whoever raised you, maybe they had a special name for you. Maybe it was your mother and she called you Habibi. Maybe it was your mother who called you cariño. And whenever they used this special word, it was a very tender word. Maybe they wanted to give you a piece of candy or call you over to show you off to some relatives. Well, my dad used to call me kiddo. And I'm on that couch, wincing my face, sweating. And do you know what my dad did to me? He picked me up and held me tight. And he said, "Don't worry about it, kiddo. I can buy another computer." No matter how much you're feeling broken, no matter how much they tried to break you, no matter how much you try to break yourself, you've broken yourself. What do? You listen to the words of the Father. The words that you say to yourself determine your future. Your destiny doesn't really depend on what others say about you. Your destiny really depends on what you say about you right here. What are the words that you use on yourself? Craig Groeschel says, our whole futures go in the direction of our strongest thoughts. Our whole lives go in the direction of our strongest thoughts. And so I turn to you, and I would ask everybody except for the timer to close your eyes for a quick minute and 10 seconds. There you are. You're on that old, ugly, brown couch, and you know what you've done was wrong. Or perhaps you're feeling the tension in your chest of what was done wrong against you. Or perhaps it's some words that someone said to you many years ago as a child. Maybe, I don't know what happened. I don't know why you're on that couch, but you're on that couch and you know exactly why you're there. And you hear that heavy truck sound, brum, brum, of your father coming home to punish you for what happened. And you hear his heavy footsteps walk into the computer room. And now you're looking down at your feet and you hear his heavy footsteps walk over. And now you can see his feet, and you're shaking. The shame on your heart and your mind, you can feel it so strong, it feels like a hot wad in your throat. And you're shaking. What does this father do to you? He picks you up. And with your eyes closed, wrap your arms around yourself and as tightly as you can, squeeze. Wrap your arms around yourself. Go ahead, do it. Do it, squeeze. And what does this father say to you? I love you. And I will love you tomorrow. And I will love you again after that. Don't worry about it, Habibi. Don't worry about it, kiddo. I have a plan. And it's these words that you need to use on yourself when you feel broken. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear Chas, for this amazing and emotional speech. You reminded us that our loved one and ourselves are irreplaceable. Everything can be changed or replaceable, but the one we love, ourselves, are the ones irreplaceable. Thank you so much, dear Chas, for this amazing speech. And please, dear friends, don't be like shy on giving our dear Chaz some gifts on comments.
Well, it's one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready. Now go, cat, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything but stay over my blue suede shoe. Well, you can knock me down, step in my face, slander my name all over the place. We'll do anything that you want to do, but honey, lay off them shoes and don't you step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything but take me over my blue suede shoes. Let's go, cat! Oh, walk the dog. Well, you can burn my house, steal my car, drink my liquor from an old fruit jar. We'll do anything that you want to do, but honey, lay off of my shoes and don't you step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything.
1 minute is over.
Thank you, our dear Toastmasters. And now we're coming to our fourth and last speaker today, our dear Dice Kono from Japan. Dice started Toastmasters in 2017. He's a member of Tokyo Midtown Team C, and he is currently the immediate past president and the area director. He is also a member of Yamano TMC. He was finalist in District 76 in Japanese contest in 2020. When asked about a phrase word he heard that really touched him, he shared with us a quote by Steve Jobs that it means a lot to him. You can't connect the dots going forward, so you have to trust the dots will somehow connect in the future. Our dear friend Dice will present for us today an icebreaker in his pathway engaging humor. The title of his speech is Paint 1,000 Pictures. Dice Kono, paint 1,000 pictures, paint 1,000 pictures, Dice Kono.
A picture paints 1,000 words. So says conventional wisdom. But what if you didn't have the option to see that picture? Fellow Toastmasters, one day a few years ago, I went jogging in a nearby park and noticed a group of runners wearing some bright outfits running in pairs. They seemed to be chatting and laughing and having a jolly good time. I was intrigued. Well, I discovered that they were visually impaired runners with their guides. I observed and thought to myself, hey, I could do that. I come here to run anyway. Why not help someone in the process? How difficult could it be? So I signed up as a volunteer for the next session. Now, for novice guide runners, they provide some training. There's a part where you put on an eye mask and you're told to run. But did I say run? The moment I put the mask on, I could hardly walk 10 steps, and that in slow motion. It just goes to show how much we rely on our eyesight for anything that we do. Okay, finally, it was my turn to get paired with a visually impaired runner. Now, it happens that my partner was a veteran who'd been running in that park for many years. But in all honesty, I was so nervous. I mean, what if I didn't pull him out of harm's way in time and he tripped and fell or bumped into something? All scary images started to enter my mind. Well, I handed him the tether, grabbed the other end, and off we went. And as we started picking up pace, I was concentrating so much on the road that I forgot to talk. Instead, I held the tether real tight with my sweaty palms. And with the slightest hint of veering to the right or to the left, I would quickly yank the tether closer. Well, after running the first lap like that, my partner stopped me. And he said, "Hello, you're not walking your dog, okay? Talk to me, for Christ's sake." Oh, I was left speechless. I apologized profusely. So during our second lap, I tried my best to say something useful while still concentrating on the road. Right turn there. Downhill from here. Oh, careful, some bumps ahead. Well, after this lap, my partner stopped me again. Okay, I think the GPS on my wife's car is more talkative than you. Look, if you want to be a guide runner, you can't just blurt out words. You have to paint a picture in my mind. Tell me exactly what you see, okay? Okay. So in the third lap, I literally started describing every single thing that I saw. The road, the curbs, the bushes, the flowers, the trees, the birds. Well, after this lap, my partner said, much better, much better. But, your picture is kind of black and white, if you know what I mean. Now, that never occurred to me. So I then started adding colors, shapes, sizes, shades, using as many adjectives as I could come up with. Well, after a while, my partner said, "Very good, very vivid. But tell me, is everything standing still?" Okay, now I could tell this guy was testing me. So I started to talk about the motions and the movements and the growth, the changes, using as many adverbs as I could squeeze out of my mental thesaurus. Well, before I knew it, we had finished 10 laps. And boy, was I exhausted. I'd been running and talking nonstop. My voice was hoarse and my brain was fried. But the veteran runner said to me, "Well, now you're talking. You see, when I didn't hear your words, it was like running in a vacuum. And now I can see myself running in your picture. Come back and keep practicing." So it was through this experience that I learned the power of words. By describing what I saw in my own words, I realized just how much I'd been missing out on all along. Since then, I do go back to volunteer as often as I can. Of course, it is to help the visually impaired person run. But it's not only that. It's also to help myself become a better painter with my palette of words. So, dear friends, your words are powerful. And with the right words, you could indeed paint 1,000 pictures in anyone's mind. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, dear Daskono, for this beautiful description. As you said, you are a real example of how words can paint your life and how words can make things look better and more beautiful. And that's we can do also volunteer work just by our words. Dear friends, please give our dear Dice some gifts.
которую прежде любил. По прошествии лет не хочу открывать. Я притворялся, но не был, увы, и геройствовал лишь на словах. Высмеивал я тех, кто цитаты великих копил и прятал за ними безликий свой ум. Правда, это вы, надоел безумно глупый ваш обман. Однако я всегда знал, что вряд ли и сам был другим, и слепо пытался искать верный путь. Разве можно так? Сколько можно ждать? Перезагрузку мне, ресет нажмите. Я отпускаю на волю себя, где-то в сердце начертаны эти слова. Ничто не сумеет меня держать, к свободе вечно стремится душа. Есть в мире много дорог, что к успеху ведут, но я твердо решил проложить и свою. Ведь если поверить, то хватит сил не заблудиться на
1 minute, it's over, Rania.
Okay, thank you so much, our dear Toastmaster of the day. And I want to ask you a question before moving to the polls. Do we have, our dear Toastmaster, a timer? Any disqualifications?
No, Rania, all the speakers are qualified.
Oh,
Just
please
launch the
upload
polls.
that. So happy for that. So I'm gonna ask Hind, our dear Zoom Master of the Day, to please share with us the poll for the voting. So please, dear friends, vote for the best speaker for you. The first speaker is our dear Percy Roland. Our second speaker is our dear Toastmaster Stephanie Hobart. Our third speaker is our dear Chas Perez, and our fourth speaker is our dear Dice Kono.
It's gonna be hard. We have
Indeed.
4 amazing speeches. I'm
Indeed.
speechless. I'm speechless. Please use the word of the day.
So our dear Zoom Master, are we done with the voting? Did everyone vote?
Yes,
Thank
everybody
you.
votes.
Thank you so much, our dear Hind. So, since the voting are done, now we're gonna move to our second part of the meeting, the part I also love a lot so much. It's the most funny part in the Toastmaster meeting, which is the table topics. And I'm so glad that our table topic master today is our dear Masayo Arei from Japan. Please, dear Masayo, the floor or the screen is yours. Please upload her.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rania, for introducing me. I'm Masayo Arai, and I'm from District 76, Japan. I'm a member of 3 clubs in District 76, one in Tokyo, the other one is close to Tokyo, and the other one is in Hiroshima. Okay, thank you very much for participating to volunteer for table topic speaker. Today I have 3 volunteers, probably, if I am not missing any other requests. Okay, today the meeting theme is the power of words. So I prepared some questions somehow related to the theme of the meeting. So I'll state the question and then wait for 5 seconds and appoint a speaker. So please, everyone, please think about your answer during this 5 seconds. Okay? The first question. Do you sometimes quarrel with anybody Why yes and why not? Okay, so let me appoint the speaker. This question goes to Jamal. Am I correct?
Hello. Yeah. I don't hear the word clearly. It's quarrel.
Okay, let me repeat the question.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes quarrel, fighting with words with anybody? Why yes or why not?
Yes, the words, the power of words can let us fight with them. So a lot of people use the words to fight, to hurt somebody. The words have a lot of good use. We can motivate people. We can give people hopes and meaning, and we can also hurt someone with words. So why not? I will ask the question, why not using this? Because I think we can use the positive part of words and to have what we want without hurting someone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jamal. Very positive opinion. I'm not quarrel very often. Maybe this is my personality, or maybe Japanese personality. I'm not sure. Thank you very much, Jamal. Okay, so let me ask the second question. We are a mixture of different native language speakers, different cultures, and different occupations. Tell us your tips to cope with this complicated communication. Okay. This question goes to Mahmoud Bilk. Mahmoud, the stage is yours. Do we have Mahmoud here?
Yes, here I am. Please,
Okay.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay, sure.
In a different way that I can understand it. Sorry. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay. We are the group of diversity, different language, native speaking, different culture, different occupation. How do you cope with this difficult communication environment?
It depends. Normally, we live in a world where we understand normally each other because of many different stuff. We have media, we have TV, we have. Then I think we are much more international citizens than only locals. This is how I think about it. And we have also this big advantage that we have this ability to learn languages, to talk now and speak with each other, which make communication easier. And not only communication, but we start understanding each other culture, habits, all those things. I think communication nowadays is easier. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mahmoud. Am I pronouncing your name correctly, Mahmoud?
Yes, you did it well,
okay.
you know. Mahmoud, you did it great.
I'm a little bit anxious if my pronunciation
Because the
for
H is
different.
not silent, you know,
Right.
in Arabic.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So I've received one more volunteer's request to be the speaker. So probably the next one will be the last one. Okay. So my last question for you all. Everyone, please think about your reply, and I will appoint one person. Question. Tell us about your favorite quote or saying that impressed you. Okay, this question goes to Wisal Warab.
Hi, everyone. So for the quote, there is a movie, I don't know if anyone of you heard of it, it's called Unbroken. It's about a soldier, and the quote that I really liked is when he said that if I can take it, I can make it. It's about patience. If you can actually be patient enough to be disciplined and to work on what you want, despite the odds, despite whatever struggle you actually came to face during the journey, you can actually get there and you can get whatever you want. So it's been like 5 years since I watched the movie, and every time like I'm in a very hard situation, I would remember this quote and I would work with it, and it really helped me a lot because it's not just about work, it's also about the daily life, about, for example, the mental issues or like the anxiety. Because sometimes when you start to talk in front of people and you feel like anxious and you just want to stop talking, but you would remind yourself like, just take it, just keep what you are doing, and it's going to be all right. And actually I think that's the most inspiring thing for me, because there is a lot of quotes I would work by, but this one is the one that I really related to a lot. Thank you so much for asking me.
Thank you very much. So am I also correct? My pronunciation, Wisal, is that correct?
Yes, exactly. It's Wisal.
Oh, good. Wisal,
Thank you.
Thank you very much for confirming. Very, very inspiring, very encouraging quote. Can you type your quote on the chat box so everyone will
sure.
precisely understand your question, your recommended quote?
Thank you.
Okay. So I think there will nobody who requested me to be the table topic speaker. Am I miss anyone?
Dear Masayu, maybe our dear Uthman will be interested in participating.
Who?
Uthman.
I'm sorry, I can't catch the name. Okay, let me ask one more question to that person. I couldn't catch the name. Okay, so the last and the fourth question is, have you been inspired by any speech, and how? Have you been inspired by any speech, and how? Okay, so can you please name that person, someone?
It's
I can
Ottoman.
take it if you want. Ottoman, go for it.
Okay, Ottoman.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I am speechless, Rania, that you're requesting me, even if I didn't ask to. But I have a speech that my late father used to tell me about when I first got married. He told me that I should choose a wife for the long run. He told me that with all women, technically, you can have, with not all women, if God willing, you pass away, you can leave your kids with them and they will raise them properly and remember your legacy and your memory. So this is something that struck a chord with me, and I live it by to this day. I am fortunate to have a wonderful wife that loves me and supports me all the way. She does so, and we know as Toastmasters that Toastmasters take all the time. You know what she did told me a few days ago? I know that this Toastmasters thing take you a long time and I don't see you much, but I can see in your eyes that you love it so much. And I will let you, and I know that you're having fun and growing. And you know what? Next time, take me with you. It is a cult. I want to see what this Toastmaster Club is all about. So my legacy now is for my kids and make them as well remember that the important thing in life is love and to be in good company, as we all are in this meeting today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Atman. I'm sorry that I missed your request. And I received one more. So let me make this the last one. The question is, have you or your family experienced any war? Please share the experience with us. So this question goes to Sad.
Hi. Do you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I think me and my family, we didn't experience war, in fact, but we did experience hard times. And in those hard times, I think that after being struck the first time and maybe even be speechless at first, the good thing to do is to use words. Words can make you bound even more with your family and the people surrounding you, and that could help you go over these hard times. I think that in these times, what we need to have is a positive mindset, and that would be achieved by sharing good words, harming words, and loving ones. And I think that by discussing and sharing our feelings through powerful words, we did in fact passed over these hard times, and I'm sure we would have other ones in the future, but this feeling bound in us and the words used to share it would help us to overcome it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sad. Yes, the sharing the negative side of memories should be shared to everyone. One of my clubs in Hiroshima is a very peace loving people, and we have the atomic bomb memorial events each year. Okay, so I have one more volunteer. So let me make this as the final thing. Okay, my sixth and this time the final question is, how do you think you can help people who are suffering from the war? This question goes to Emad. Emad. Is that someone?
Yes,
who
correct.
is
That's
in
Emad.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a very hard question, really, because I don't know how these people really feel. But I can tell you that those people from war, a war of peace is our first war, because we all fight against war. So we are fighting against overcoming the wars, not wars of taking weapons and killing soldiers or killing enemies, a war of overcoming these social networks, a war of having my phone with me every time, all the day. That's a real war for me. But I feel pity for those people really who suffered the war. It's not easy. They need to recover and they need to rebuild not only their countries or their cities, but they need to build their own selves, because after the war, it's very hard for anybody really to recover, but I understand. But the war I'm talking about, not the war of weapons, but the war of social media, the war of the internet, the war of digitalization. And this is, for me, the real war that we are undergoing. I'm hoping, and God bless our children and the next generations, not really to deepen the war into being like robots in the future. That's, for me, the real war. Thank you very much for this chance, and hope to see you very soon. Bye.
Thank you, Imad. Very, very powerful opinion. Yes, I agree with you. We have words to fight against the war. Okay, let me conclude with table topic speeches, and let's have Hanan to report if there's anyone who is ineligible.
And all improvisation, there is no disqualification. So the Toastmaster of the day just can share with us the polls, and we will be able to vote. Thank you very much, dear Masayo.
Thank you very much.
So a reminder of the name, the first improviser was Jamal, the second one is Mahmoud, the third one is Wisal, the fourth one is Uthman, the fifth one is Saad, and the sixth one is Imad.
So webmaster, please unspotlight me. Please remove the spotlight from me.
Masayo, we want to see you dance into Moroccan music. So we'll keep you on the spot.
Dear friend, I guess we need to move to our third part of the meeting. The votes are done. And for this part, I'm so happy to call our dear Jeev today, our friend Christina Huesas. Christina, please, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much, Rania. And I'm gonna fly to the first one of the evaluators because we're really late. I'm calling on stage Louise Beaton from Australia to evaluate Percy Rowland.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and friends. From the time that Percy just leant in and told us, shall I, he had us captivated with his great storytelling. He's really polished, really engaging, and I want to highlight some of the wonderful things that he does as a speaker. His pace is incredible. Not only does it slow down and it's easy to understand, but it increases as the action increases in the story. So when the child could finally swim, we heard the excitement in the voice. And he did something very clever. When he was reflecting on his father's age, he went 70. And somehow in that pace, he managed to show how much he was thinking about those words. It was very cleverly done. He's very conversational. I thought the opening dialogue in particular just was a father and son, as we later found out, engaging in conversation, and even had the passers-by, the women. He had another voice for the women as well. I like the twist. I wasn't sure at first. I think as it went along, I had a hunch it might be him, but I loved how he took that story, that it was actually him. And then all of a sudden, we got this other twist that in the end of life for his father, he would use his father's words back to his father. I thought that was such a beautiful story. It was so touching, and it was really, really skillfully done. And it's bookending a speech, bringing that opening words back with the words. And for a meeting like this about the power of the words, I just thought that was absolutely fantastic. I'd also like to highlight some of the brilliant gestures. There was the heart beating and that wonderful gesture when his father, half of his body was paralyzed. I felt that. I really felt that gesture. He's obviously a very advanced speaker, so a couple of suggestions for him. I would like a few questions here and there. Has someone ever helped you to do something you didn't expect? Just a couple of check-in questions through the speech to keep us thinking and relating to our own examples. I thought there was a couple of superfluous words like maybe it was 14 or 15, maybe it was something else. And I'd like to encourage him to be specific. I think in speaking, specific is better. Just go for one of them. I was 14. I was about 14. Just cut out the superfluous words and get to more of the important ones. And last but not least, the call to action was fantastic. It was stirring. It was motivating. But I did question, there was an example about maybe you hate someone. I felt like there'd been nothing about that earlier in the speech. I felt like it was new material that was added in. So I'd probably encourage Percy to look back at his call to action and just make it a perfect reflection of the story that he's told, and keep with that to keep us engaged. But make no mistake, it's easy to see he's incredibly experienced. I thought this was a wonderful speech, taking an everyday story, which is what we're told to do, and flipping it into a really life-changing message for all of us about the power of words. Thank you very much, Percy. You did an amazing job, and I'm so privileged to have been asked here today to evaluate you. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Louise, for your evaluation to Percy. We all learned from it. Now I'm calling on stage, on screen, Carol Bozor to evaluate Stephanie Hobel from Germany.
How we all love a good yarn. A story. We're already speechless with anticipation. And Stephanie took us to Egypt. She painted a wonderfully colored and detailed picture that we could visualize. She gave us the feelings of that hot, dry air. And she put us in a family situation, a delicate one, that we could all identify with. She used some beautiful language, some delicately crafted turn of phrase. The thought sneaked up on me to enrich the gene pool of my family. That was kind of funny, it was nice. In fact, the whole speech was potential high comedy. And she finished with a strong final message for the good Toastmaster leaders that we all want to be. Now, Stephanie, how can you make a more beautiful tailored speech, perfectly fitted to the size of your eager audience? First, Stephanie, you can ditch that first line, dear fellow Toastmasters, we don't need it. Jump straight into your story, like Chaz did. Number two, please stand up and look us in the eyes. You will get better connection if you do that. And when you're standing up, you have more opportunity for gesture, which would enrich that beautiful story. You can also benefit from more vocal variety. I know you can do it. I heard you say that wonderful disapproval. with a great pause afterwards. So please insert more of those vocal tricks, more vocal ups and downs. Tailor your voice to enhance the story. And you could have gestured much more. Move into the camera when you're telling us those cheeky secrets you had. That would have been wonderful. You know, tell us that the main task of great leaders is something that we all need to know. It's a strong message. We could have benefited from hearing it more closely. So, Stephanie, I think this story is potentially so funny. And my challenge to you is you can deliver it again as if it were stand up. If you attempt to do that, then you will take those horrible trousers, badly fitting, and turn them into haute couture.
Thank you. Merci, Carol Bosor. Now I'm calling on stage Ana Carvalho from Portugal to evaluate Chas Perez from the US.
Imagine that you can squeeze in the same speech not only the power of the words, but also the power of detail, of pauses, of feel you and make you feel in the specific place. I think you believe, and you are here with me, it's what all of us feel with Chas' speech. He make us all sit on that brown couch. All of us were there with him on that specific moment. And more than that, he make us, with their amazing pauses, feel what is going on here. Is the father slap him or the father hug him? In fact, the father hug him, and I believe that make us feel what he was feeling on that specific moment. Chas, I really loved your speech. You started with those questions that right away make us with you in your speech, and then we follow you. And on that big pause when we were expecting probably not a hug, at least in my situation, I was waiting what is going on here. And then he hugs you. On that moment, I would like to have maybe a question. What do you feel in that moment? Did you felt like me? What was you feeling? I missed a little bit of more engaging with us on that specific moment. I think we were even more with you, and I think it will be more impactful at the end. Moreover, I would like to have you standing. Why not to squeeze a little bit on the corner of your screen when you were on your couch? Why not to spread more your words when we were trying to make us feel like what we were feeling on that moment? Maybe that small suggestions for someone that is very, very experienced in speeches may get even a more impactful speech. I really like it, and why not next time to bring us a completely different speech? I think something more funny. I think it works for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anna. And now time for Sabri Dönmez from Turkey, who will evaluate this Kono from Japan.
So, Lao Tzu once very rightly said that a journey of 1,000 miles just begin with a single step. And congratulations on taking your first step on your very new path, engaging humor. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and Dice, your speech was literally inspiring. I liked especially how you began with the question and started to draw an image in us. If you don't use the stories, in the audience may enjoy your speech, but there is no chance they will remember it. You seem to know it. I think the audience will remember the story. There was a clear introduction, clear body, and then the conclusion. They made your speech easy to follow, which means clear structure and memorable message at the end. When you started talking, imply the speech and your story will be about the experience, the scenario that a person barely experienced. You slide me into down your pocket and drew me into your story. It was a great choice and great choice to provide your message. I heard that your vocabulary was rich and so powerful, and your lovely voice is so delightful to listen and accompanied your speech perfectly. I can say that you know the power of the words, and the power of silence and the pause could be considered while you were delivering the speech, especially in the emotionally intense part. It's also essential that people can see you very well. I saw that you have a good front light shining brightly on your face, which is really nice. Otherwise, it would be unfortunate to miss the great facial expressions. To amplify the engagement impact of your speech, my point for improvement will be dice for you to use more virtual background stage in the first part of your story. You could have dropped the plain virtual background in the first part and then taken a step back so that we can see your open body language. I mean, the online zone of the influence from bottom of your chest to the top of your head, and your end gestures with full of effectiveness. And at the end, you will be using this tiny little box more efficiently. For example, when you said, hey, I can do that, you could move to the 1/3 of this little box and use theatric open body language. In summation, great speech, inspiring story, great choice of words, and excellent use of background in the second part. I felt you used rhetorical triangle devices, ethos, pathos, and logos as an instrument and created a perfect harmony within your story, which was a high level and deeply engaging, especially with your gestures, hand gestures, and the use of background. Just be mindful about the use of virtual stage in the first part while you draw a picture in us. Speech is power, speech is to persuade, to convert and compel, and you do it very well, Dice. Keep going. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Sabri. Now the 4 evaluators have gone. I'm going to ask the timer if they've done good in terms of time.
Yes, all evaluators are qualified for vote.
Okay, so I believe it's time for the Zoom Master to launch the survey so everyone can vote. And because we're running late, without a further delay, I will call Hanan again to make a review of the time in this meeting.
Thank you very much, dear General Evaluator Christina. I'm very happy and speechless at the same time because everyone, all participants respected time. So I will start with our dear speakers. So they were all long speeches. So with Percy, 7 minutes 21, Stephanie, you were close, 7 minutes 29 seconds, Chas 7 minutes, and Dice 6 minutes. Move on to improvisers. The speeches were a little bit short. So Jamal 1 minute, Mahmoud 1 minute, Wisal 1 minute 16 seconds, Atman 2 minutes 5 seconds, and Sad 1 minute 38, and finally Imad 1 minute 15. And what about their evaluators? Evaluators, I will start with Luis 2 minutes 55, Carol 3 minutes 13, Anna 2 minutes 37, and Sabri, you were close 3 minutes 30. So thank you for your participation today, and I will call again our dear general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Hanan. Now time for the counter, these fear words that haunt us. So Samir, where are you?
I'm here, dear Christina. So I will give my final reports right away. So for the filler words and the filler sounds that were used by all the speakers that participated in this amazing meeting were as follows. Starting with Rania. Rania, you did 9 and 1 repetition. For Percy, just 2 slight repetition. For Stephanie, 4 repetition. For Shaz, 1 repetition and 1 long pause. For Dice, it was a clean speech. For Jamal, for the improvisers, Jamal, the first improviser, you did 2 repetition. For Mahmoud, 2 ahs and 1 repetition. For Wisal, 2 ah, 2 like, and 2 repetition. For Ottoman, just 1 repetition. For Sad, 7 ah. For Imad, clean speech. Christina, nothing to notify. Louise, clean speech also. For Carol, just 1 repetition. For Anna, 1 ah and 1 repetition. For Sabri, it was clean evaluation speech. So that's all from my side. Thank you for dear Toastmasters.
Thank you, Samir. And now let's go speechless with our grammarian who will give us his report. Pablo Garcia.
Woohoo! Thank you, Christina. I also brought my tea, Moroccan tea, that I actually picked in Marrakesh, and I brought it in a cup that has something to do with Spain. This card is called 600, and it's kind of an idea of something very Spanish to us. And my father had one, so I wanted to bring it and to share it with you all. And it's been a challenging time for me to actually take care of the grammar today. So many speakers, so many people coming on stage. So I decided to go in a different way. I picked a few words that I really liked because today's theme is power of words. So powerful words that I found is delightful, nurture, nourish, flamboyant, shine, strive, mixture, diversity, irreplaceable, poised, superfluous, haute couture, and memorable. And also I learned many words today. So I would like to thank you. And I learned water wings. I learned zoomers. Zoomers, I never heard about it. I also learned easy on the eye, flimsy, and plummy. Apart from that, I wanted to, of course, congratulate those who used the word of the day. And if I did it correctly, Dice, Hanan, Otman, Saad, Carol, and now Christine as well. So thank you for using the word of the day, speechless. And because I don't have much time, I would like to talk about little things that really got my eye. And for instance, Percy, I like the way you used for better or for worse, or even for good and evil. These comparisons, I like them. I also like from Stephanie, lift us up, and thought sneak up on me. Actually, Carol mentioned it as well. I like from Chas, the alliteration used twice in what do you do, what do you do, what do you do, repeating this in the beginning of the sentence, but also when he said, no matter how, no matter how, no matter how. I like that part. Just one little thing, you said, you say about you, and I believe it should be, you say about yourself when you are making it reflective. Then about dice, I like the expression, in all honesty, off we went, or blurb out words. Rania, she made amazing. She's been speaking for a lot of time here. And actually, I just got a few things like you called our Percy, you called him Ronald rather than Roland. And also some mistake with the past when you said, what was that word? You never forget it. And it's you never forgot. What else? With Masayo, by the way, I don't see the timer now. Hi, Hanan.
You're late.
Okay, I don't see the color, so I will continue. Masayo, Okay,
You
you're
are
not
late,
timing then.
asked Christina.
Then I will close just thanking you all for this powerful international meeting that we had today, and thank you for letting all of us learn something. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Pablo. I have to say that I was so much into recovering the time that we lost in the beginning of the meeting that I forgot to let the evaluators introduce their roles. So the beginning was a bit messy because of me as well. What a great meeting, guys. We've been together for 1.5 hours, people from 5 continents, having fun together and listening to amazing speeches, to incredible improvisations, and to more incredible evaluations. It's been an absolute pleasure to be a part of it. To improve, because evaluations are to improve. As the mentor of our club used to say, in life, we can have more of everything except for time. We can have more love, we can have more money, but we can't have more time. So time management is something that we need, and we learn how to do it, right, in our Toastmasters meeting from the first moment we step in. We lost 10 minutes in the beginning because of housekeeping stuff that could have been done in advance. So piece of advice for the next time: those who need to be a part of it, those who have a role, gather together 15 minutes beforehand so you can arrange this type of things. Because of that, I had this feeling, and it's a feeling, but it's a feeling again, that probably I was not the only one having it, that we were more late than we were. So these 10 minutes at a certain moment became 20 minutes that we somehow recovered during the evaluations, mainly because we were really running into it. The theme of the meeting was fantastically chosen, and all of it, like the word of the day, the topics for the table topic session, were nicely chosen accordingly to it. And all I have to say, well, regarding my evaluation, is that time management, we should control more that. It's something that really was keeping a little bit my mind away from the meeting, especially by the end of it. We should be really aware of it. Otherwise, congratulations to everyone who participated and who took part in the meeting. It's been a great session, and thank you very much. And passing the mic again on the floor to Rania, the Toastmasters.
Thank you so much, our dear Christina, for this report. And as you said, since time is our problem today, we won't be any more late. And now we're gonna move to announcing the winners for today's meeting. So, dear friends, some drums, some suspense, who do you think won the best table topics? We're gonna start with the best table topics. So I'm gonna ask our dear Zoom master, are you ready?
Just say the name if she.
On it.
Perfect. So the best table topic for today's meeting is Uthman Laraki. Congratulations, Uthman. That's a surprise, yeah?
Thank you for the push.
For today.
Thank you for the push. We have always to go beyond our comfort zone. So thank you, Rania, and everyone who pushed me it is an improv speech. So this is the definition. So it is a double improv one. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Uthman, for being with us. And now we're gonna move to I'm gonna move now to the best evaluator. So today we had the privilege to have amazing evaluator. We did really learn from each one of you. It was an amazing opportunity for us. But the best evaluator for today's meeting is it's our dear friend Carol Buzor. Please applaud Carol.
Thank you so much. It was a joy.
Thank you. Always a joy having you. And the best for the least, I guess. So now our best speaker, we also had the privilege of having amazing speeches today, as usual. So please, with me, applaud our best speaker for today, who's gonna be... It is our dear friend, Chaz Perez. Please applaud Chaz.
Bravo.
Congratulations, Chaz. Congratulations for winning the best speaker. And it was really a delight having you all. I was really enjoying this diversity. I was enjoying everyone being a part of this, trying to do their best to make it an amazing meeting with all these beautiful spirits. I will always say it in Toastmasters, it's about the good energy, the supportive energy, and always the supportive and also positive words that we share with each other. Even if when we evaluate, we do it in the best way possible. Thank you all for being here today with us. It's a privilege for Rabat Toastmasters Club for having you all, and I guess it's not gonna be our last collaboration. Inshallah, it's gonna be further more projects with all Toastmasters all over the world. So I wouldn't be more late on this. I'm gonna give the mic to our sergeant of arm, our dear Hanan, to end this session.
Thank you very much, dear Rania. Thank you very much, all participants around the world. Are gonna late 10 minutes. Yeah, we are behind 10 minutes. So I'm very happy to have you today among us, and I hope that I will see you next year on May. I have to see you with different speakers, different evaluators. It's a habit that we want to keep it here in Rabat Toastmasters, and we will pay attention with the time. So I will call this meeting adjourned, and if anyone wants to stay after that to have a chat, you are free. Otherwise, thank you and bye, and hope to see you again, online meetings or in presence, face-to-face meeting. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
You can mute yourself.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, Christina. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So much, everyone. And thank you.
We need to see you all in Tangier, May 20th.
Yes,
yes,
everyone. Thank you. Yes.
We will.
We will go to Sevilla first, and then close to Tangier afterwards.
Yes.
We'll be there, Otman. We'll be there.
Sevilla. How was the weather at Sevilla? It's the same as Morocco?
It's really hot here.
Hot, okay.
We're in 38 degrees now.
Oh.
But it will be very nice in November.
I want to thank our dear friend Sabri. The first time we had a collaboration with a Turkish club. So thank you so much for being here and saving the moments.
It's my pleasure.
Last minutes.
It's such a pleasure to hear, and I'm so delightful that I see many faces from all over the world and listen great speeches, literally great speeches. I had sometimes goosebumps while listening. It's all memorable, and I'm so glad that our path has crossed, Rania. Thank you so much. You're all great Toastmaster.
Thank you. The pleasure is ours, and we really enjoyed the speeches, the evaluation. It was really very push of knowledge today we got from Toastmaster. Thank you to all our dear guests here with us. Our dear friends from Japan, we count you as our family. We always do collaboration with Japan. We thank you so much for being with us. I also want to thank our dear guests from Morocco, from Portugal, from Spain. Dear Anna, thank you so much for being here with us. It was really a great pleasure for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much. Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you again.
Allah, yeah.